Hi, I'm Craig Andersen, and welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. Today we have with us Carol Andersen, the founder of EPMS. How you doing, Carol?
I'm well, Craig.
Thanks for taking the time to come and do this casual interview with me.
My pleasure. Craig, we've heard a lot about MIS systems in the past year or so. There's been a lot of press, and I'm sure you hear a lot from our clients. I'm wondering what you think is important to a client in getting a strong MIS system.
Well, I think it's multiple factors. As you know, today everybody's struggling with the economy. Running a business today is very challenging. An MIS system, the purpose behind it is really to help a company really collect all their information regarding their customers and their jobs all into one system. And if a MIS system is being used properly, they can gain so much added value from that information. For example, you can use the system to estimate your jobs and then compare them to what that actual production cost was. And you can sit back and evaluate that using some of the reports in the system and get a true handle on how you're doing in today's business. I think one of the other key benefits is a lot of companies we see that are looking for MIS systems are usually using multiple systems. It may be Excel spreadsheets, it may be the scheduling board, whatever it is. An MIS system with the modules in place, you can minimize all those secondary systems and control everything within one system. And that just means access to that information is much easier. And you really get a true, honest view of your business. Whereas with these other systems, with everything segregated, it's hard to actually collect that data and pull it together and get a true picture of what you're doing.
You know, the industry has changed dramatically since we started up in 1989, and certainly technology has fueled a lot of that change. And you talk with our clients on a daily basis. What are they telling you are the biggest benefits of enterprise to their businesses?
Well, Enterprise is a very powerful, flexible system. There are a lot of MIS systems out there, but Enterprise is in line with everyone out there. Not every MIS system is capable of meeting everybody's needs, but more specifically to what our customers are trying to achieve, they're trying to achieve integrations. What we see, to enable to be able to survive in today's business climate, they have to streamline their business processes. They have to simplify the process of getting an order in, passing it through production, and getting it out the door. Well, Enterprise and EPMS are very good at helping customers achieve that. We have some good integration tools, and we're very open-minded to integrate into other systems that we may not already existently have something. But Enterprise in itself allows you to help streamline that with like a module like our EPMS Connect, which is a module, it's a web service that runs in behind the scenes, sort of the wizard behind the curtain. It accepts XML files from various front-end systems, so you could have multiple front-end systems that are delivering orders through an XML stream into Enterprise. That all happens automatically. And because you configure Enterprise in such a way that it minimizes a human touch involved in getting those orders actually into the system and into production.
Well, Craig, everybody knows you're a real stickler for procedures. Everybody in our company, everybody among our clients. And we also know that printing companies need to have procedures in place in order to run their businesses efficiently. I'm curious as to how you think Enterprise can help them define processes and procedures.
Well, that's a good question, and yes, I am a stickler. I'm a firm believer that in today's environment, more so than any other time, procedures are very important. And in order for a company to really run smoothly, effectively, be cost effective, and minimize errors, good procedures need to be in place. Enterprise is actually an excellent foundation for developing procedures, and most people probably don't ever look at it this way.
I don't think they do.
It's an application that you configure specifically to run within your business environment. And once that configuration is complete, there are certain steps that have to be followed in a certain order in order to get the result that you're looking for. Well, that's a procedure. So what companies should be doing is when they take Enterprise and they configure it, and they've had all the formal training and have ironed out all the kinks and have it work in exactly the way that they want to, they should then take that opportunity to define good SOPs within their business based on the use of Enterprise. Doing that will do a couple of things for you. It'll help ensure that all your employees are doing exactly what they need to be doing in Enterprise to get the result that you expect, so you can get the cost and information from the reports that you're expecting. It also minimizes error because, again, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing and how. But you can also just get better information by ensuring that the system's being used properly and exactly the same by everybody. I've seen situations where companies are actually, different people within the organization are using the system differently, and the results are inconsistent. So by developing procedures based on the Enterprise 32 application, you're going to help eliminate those problems.
We know choosing a print management system is a daunting task, and I think the consolidation in the industry that we've seen this past year has further complicated that issue for printing companies. What do you think printing companies should do to help them in that selection process?
It's definitely a tough one.
It's
There's a lot out there. There are many different systems, but the reality is, I think there's different tiers of systems. There's some really high-end systems, and there's systems that are good for the central middle market, and then there's some smaller systems. So one, you can identify where you fall in that marketplace, and that will help narrow what systems are your best choice. We fall in the middle, and we can cover a full gamut. We could actually work with a smaller company, and our system can work with larger ones. I think some of the things that you should really look at is, one, you really need to define exactly what it is you're looking to accomplish. Why are you buying an MIS system? Are you replacing one? Are you trying to get rid of all these islands we talked about earlier on? So you need to define that, and then once you define that, you need to really pinpoint what your critical points are. What are the specific issues in your daily operation that you're trying to resolve? That will help you better choose the system, because now that you've narrowed down where you fall in the market, your choice as a system has been diminished a little bit. So now you're going to be looking at probably anywhere from 2 to 4 different systems. The reality is we're all pretty much the same.
We are.
We do things some better than some other systems. Other systems, in some people's opinion, may do things better than we do. But we all do the same things. We just may accomplish them slightly different. So you have to decide, one, what's important to you. Taking this list that I mentioned earlier that you create of your key points is going to help you when you go through the demo process to make sure that the system that you're looking at can actually accomplish what it is you're looking to do. I think a very important thing, though, is to keep in mind, as I said, there are many choices out there, but there isn't one system that is going to meet everybody's needs. And I think it's very important that you keep an open mind to that. There's going to be some meeting in the middle that has to be done with the choice of any system that you do. If you get hung up on your old processes or old system too much, it's only going to complicate migrating to a newer system that may have many benefits that your older system didn't. But because you're hung up on the way the older system worked, you may have a hard time seeing that benefit.
So to round this up, I'm a printing company owner looking for an MIS system, and I come to you. I've looked at a bunch of them. So Craig, why should I buy Enterprise? What makes Enterprise different from all these others that I've looked at? What would you say to me?
Well, we have a very good product. Like I said, we can pretty much do anything that anybody else can do. In some cases, it may be slightly different, but we can do it. I would like to think that our company is really what it is you're invested in. Software, but when you buy our software, you're actually invested in our company from the standpoint that you are buying the service and support and the longevity that you need to get out of an MIS system. Let's face it, with the cost of these systems, you don't want to be implementing these things every 5 or 10 years. You're looking for a system that you can actually have for a lifetime of your business. you don't want to go through this again. I'd like to think, and I do think, that our company is a company that can allow you to do that. We are very good at keeping our product up to date with the requirements of the industry. We do many, many enhancements each quarter on our program. All of these enhancements are primarily driven by customers' requests and needs. We are constantly evolving our program based on functionality that we want to see in it or improvements that we want to see in it, so we ensure the longevity of it. We also, again, with our service and support, I believe it is at such a level that you really would not be interested in going somewhere else because you're going to be satisfied with the support that you do get.
Craig, we've implemented hundreds of systems over the years that we've been in business, and invariably, as you know, things come up during implementation that clients don't expect. I wish you'd talk a little bit about what we're doing today to manage customer expectations during implementation.
Well, that's a good question. We've done a lot, actually, and it starts really with the sales process. I mean, you head up sales, and you and I have had many conversations about this.
Yes, we have.
I think one of the things that we've worked very hard at is trying to set the customer's expectations, specifically as to the time and cost of implementing the system. You know, there's three factors here. You have the cost of the system itself, which includes the application, the licensing, and the support, but then you have implementation and services costs, and that all goes along with it. One of the things that we've done is we've worked very hard at breaking those costs out as best we can, so they're pretty well known up front. Through some of this procedural development that we talked about, we also have incorporated a methodology of implementing a system that helps keep the cost down for a customer. We have a philosophy where the customer is, in a sense, given homework to do, as opposed to contracting us to do the work. Well, that does two things. One, that helps minimize the cost, so they're not paying us to do activities that they can do. But by doing those activities, they're actually learning more about the system and becoming more self-sufficient. On the sales end, as far as setting expectations, we also try to point out that there is time involved in implementing these systems, and sometimes there's some real unrealistic expectations the customers want to get up and running in a time frame with all the modules that they purchase that just aren't realistic. So we don't take the used car sales approach. We try to actually sell our product based on its merits, what it's actually going to cost to implement, and then on us as a company, and again on the complexity of these systems, it's very hard to really get out on the table every single question about what an application can do and how it does it. And that's why, as I mentioned in our earlier segment, it's important to get that list as to what's important to you, because
you're talking about the requirements.
The requirements, because you can see a demo and you can go through, spend 2 hours in a demo and see the application from back to front. But because our system is so flexible, all these systems are so flexible, it's really hard sometimes to focus on the points that are key to you if you haven't developed this requirements list. Well, Carol, thank you for taking the time and interviewing me and going through this discussion with me. I think it was worthwhile.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure, Craig. Thank you.
Well, we'll do it again soon. Well, this is Craig Andersen. We're wrapping up another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. Be sure to watch for more to come. Take care.